All right, we're all fat from Thanksgiving. We're on the Christmas countdown. I'm not the Grinch. Let's do something cool. Let's give some stuff away. Like a bonanza. We're not talking Cyber Monday, Black Friday. We're talking giving stuff away for free. Because no-name race cars, we're just here to give people what they want. Here we go. It's the holidays at No-Name Race Cars. You know what that means? It's time for some free gifts. I'm talking 100% free. You don't got to spend no money to get entered. You got to PayPal me. You ain't got to do nothing. Watch the video. Comment what you do with it if you win. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and share the post. And if you're watching this on YouTube strictly, like I don't have Facebook, don't worry about it. Just comment on the YouTube channel then. Give the video a like, you're in. Just like that. We don't have high standards here. So the point of this is that everybody starts off somewhere. And sometimes a guy needs a little boost, might need a little help. I'm not talking about charity. I'm not talking about like a raising money for race cars. I'm just talking about sometimes a guy needs a boost, a little help. We've all got it. If you're somebody, I mean anybody, that has anywhat success in racing, 9 times out of 10 you probably got a little help from somebody along the way. Maybe some parts, maybe somebody let you borrow their truck to get your first race, maybe the trailer, maybe you didn't have a trailer and somebody borrowed you a trailer. Maybe somebody just gave you some words of wisdom, some technical assistance. But either way, somebody helped you along the way. Maybe you don't realize it, but they did. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna help people. We're gonna help one person. I can't afford to give stuff away to everybody. So there's gonna be one lucky recipient here. So I grew up into cars, always. My dad was into cars. He had cool stuff in the past, but when I was 4 or 5, he didn't have anything other than like a K5 Blazer. It was pretty sweet. It was gold with a white top. But he had pictures of cool stuff he had when he was a kid. But let's face it, unless you got a race car, you're just telling war stories. So when I was like 6, he went up to Brainerd with a buddy of his that had a race car. And he came home and he proclaimed to us that he was indeed going to build a race car himself. And I'm pretty sure Mom stared at him in the kitchen for a few minutes and asked how on earth that was going to be possible because, well, I don't even think we had money for groceries, let alone a race car. But I get it from somewhere. If the old man says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So, lo and behold, 6 months later or so, he loads me up in this gold K5 Blazer with a large strap, and we head in the middle of Wisconsin. And we pull off the side of this county road, and down in this ditch, you can see the roof and the quarters on a 1980 Malibu. And it's buried in snow. You can't even hardly see it, but he got a screaming deal on it from somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, and we dragged that thing out of there and we pulled it home. And we built that car. When I say we, I just held the wrench, but he built that car, and I'll be damned if come summer of '97 we didn't have ourselves a race car. Race car is a loose term. We're talking like a stock 350 and a Malibu with a welded diff. It might not have been welded at that point, I don't know, but we showed up to the track and we were dead late. Like the tech was over and they're like, "You guys ain't racing today." And but no, old man, he got her teched in and we raced. I don't know if we really raced. He made some passes, but he was hooked and I was hooked. And it was like from that moment, I remember standing there, I watched that car go 1435 at like 104 miles an hour. And from that moment, I knew in life, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a race car driver just like my old man. And from there on, we raced together every single weekend. I mean, I didn't even, like, go to birthday parties for other kids or sleepovers. I didn't do none of that. That's all I cared about was racing. And that was, like, my whole childhood. And there's a lot of guys that have project cars or they have a dream of building a car, and then their kid go to races every weekend, which is awesome. Like, if you can take your kid to a race, it's better than like you hanging out at the casino or some shit while your kid's sitting at home watching videos on YouTube. But there's so many guys out there that don't think they can pull it off or they don't think they have the means. And there's like, I'm gonna tell it to you just like my old man told me when I was a kid. Like, you're never gonna think you're financially ready to do something like this. You just have to do it and just hang on for the ride. And don't get me wrong, you're gonna need a lot of support at home too. You know, you might need a wife that gets along with it pretty good, and she's willing to work with you, but there's a lot of people that think, maybe they can't pull it off financially, or they're waiting on X amount of money to come in, or they're waiting on a tax return, or it's never gonna happen. Like, if you want to do it, you just need to do it. You can't be afraid of failing or not being the fastest guy or running out of money, because I'll tell you what, like, I've been doing this for, I don't know, 15 years since I had my license, and I've ran out of money more times than I can count. I've maxed credit cards out. I've refinanced a vehicle just to get out there and do it. And I'm not advising any of these moves. These aren't smart, but I did it. And you just stick with it, and over time, you start meeting these people that they make your program better, and they become friends, and your car gets faster, and next thing you know, like, one day you're standing there in the tech line, and you're pulling into the tech line backwards because you've never even seen it before. And the next thing you know is you're standing there and you're in the final round at 1 a.m. under the lights with like 2,000 people watching you, and you don't even know how you got there. And you might even think to yourself, I don't belong here. How did this happen? But that's what happens when you just go for something. If you go for it, the right people are going to show up, and they're going to help you, and they're going to get you along your way, and you're going to learn, and you're going to apply things that you learn, and you're going to make some of the best friends you've ever had. Drive. If you have drive to do this, it's going to happen. That's all that matters. But what I want to do is, if everybody can just offer each other a little bit of assistance here and there, and when you see that guy that's there for the first time, and naturally you want to nudge your buddy and point and laugh at the guy with his open headers clacking around, like, yeah, it's funny. I can laugh at myself. I was that guy. But at the end of the day, like, he's there with his kid, and his kid thinks he is absolutely Superman that day because he's got some 350 with open headers, and they don't care how fast it is. So, when you see that guy standing there and you're laughing because things puffing oil and he's watering the track down, like, we were all that guy one time. And if you say you weren't, you're lying. Just go help the guy, see if he needs anything. Ask him how the day is going. I remember when I was first starting off, I was just like tickled if somebody came over and talked to me, just asked me about my car, where I was from, or what I was doing. It doesn't cost money to be a good person. It's free. Just go do it. So let's not drag this on any longer. The point here is, let's try to be supportive of the guys starting out. I want to kind of put my money where my mouth is. This isn't like, I'm not saying, oh, I'm giving away all this great shit for people to get racing, but we have something here that we can part with to help somebody out. What we have is the original Warhorse 1, which in a way was gifted to me. So let's just keep paying it forward here. Brian ran this motor, Derek ran this motor, Graham ran this motor. It's been a lot of places, and it's helped a lot of people get a car going. So it was the first car that was in the Camaro. I didn't race it, but it was in there. So we want to give this thing away. No, it's nothing special. It's not some Proline motor. But with the adequate amount of boost, I think it'll do things for someone. Graham ran it 2 years ago. Put him like 970. So what it is it's a stock Gen 3 short block. It's 5.3. It's got 862 heads on it. Does have a valve train minus rockers. I could probably find a set to go with it. It's got valve covers. So basically what it is, it's a long block. It does have head studs. They are Chinese head studs, but nonetheless, they've seen 25 pounds of boost on the regular, and they've performed just fine. So this is what we want to do. We're going to give this long block away to somebody. And now if you're thinking, oh man, this seems like kind of a pay it forward thing, I shouldn't enter. No, you're definitely going to want to enter, because at a minimum, this thing should be in a museum somewhere. So I mean, it's a legend amongst the streets and tracks in Minnesota. So maybe you want to put it on display, and maybe if you win it, just pay it forward. Like, keep the motor, and I don't know, you got a couple stock parts laying around that somebody needs to get going. Give them some parts. If you don't want to separate the parts, give them some knowledge. If you see somebody on the internet asking a stupid question, and naturally we all want to laugh at them, which I'm guilty of. I've done it. Instead of laughing, maybe shoot the guy a PM. Private message, just be like, hey man, here's what works. Trust me, it goes a long ways. So I don't care. Get the motor, put it on display, pay it forward with some parts, pay it forward with some knowledge, do something cool for the holidays. I'm sorry if this is drug on and too mushy for all the race car folk, but really, Like I said, it doesn't cost nothing to be cool. Help somebody out, give them some free knowledge, toss them some parts you don't need anymore, make a new friend at the racetrack. It'll be a good year. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Make sure you comment on the post with what you would do with it if you receive it. And share the post. 3 easy things, they're all free. They get you in the running for this incredibly badass motor. So, check back at 300 subscribers. We're going to raffle this thing off. I'm hoping to do it before Christmas. If we can hit 300 before Christmas, it'll be this awesome Christmas Day giveaway. It does have to be picked up here. I'm not delivering it. So, like I said, comment on the post, share the post, make sure you're subscribed. Gets you in the running for this thing. Warhorse 1. Everybody needs it. Everybody. So, stand by. We'll be back at 300 subscribers.